Hey guys, my name is Mr. Shannon. I am the Good Enough Guy Crafts. I am going to be taking you guys on a tour of my tools and my Good Enough Guy Crafts workshop, show you what I'm working with. Now, before we do that, I just want to address why I'm doing this. Now, I'm a 6th grade history teacher, and my students found my page from when I was in college, so they decided to follow my little stupid college videos. I figured, why not throw some content on there and see what happens? So we're going to be making stuff, we're going to be designing stuff, we're going to be fixing stuff, we're going to be breaking stuff. I am also going to be willing to answer questions about pretty much anything. If you want advice, I'll give it to you. Okay? I'm going to do my darn best to keep this kid friendly. You can find a lot of my stuff on my Good Enough Guy Crafts Insta. You can find it on Good Enough Guy Crafts Facebook page and my Good Enough Guy Crafts Gmail account. So without further ado, let me give you a walk around the shop. We'll talk about some of these tools and what they do and what I'm working with. Now, I am not a wealthy man, so yes, I use cheap tools. I will use Ryobi because they're affordable, and I do a lot of my tool shopping and parts shopping at Harbor Freight. I see a lot of guys in a lot of videos and a lot of comments put down people who shop at Harbor Freight. They don't take us seriously. Let me tell you something, guys. Sometimes you can afford what you can afford, and it's better to go with the cheap stuff and live your dream and do your passions than have someone be a gatekeeper and say, well, unless you can afford the high-end stuff, you shouldn't do what you want to do. So that's what I've done here. I've made my workbenches on wheels so they can roll around, so I've got room. My shop is only 12 feet wide by 24 feet long, and I keep as much stuff in here as I possibly can. I've utilized my space as best I could, and I'm very proud of what I have built here. So let's take a walk around and see what we're working with, huh? All right, guys, first of all, let me swing this around here. So this is a CNC machine. Now, this has a spinning blade, a router blade, and it moves back and forth and up and down, and it carves designs into wood. Now, many of you have already seen my Instagram page and my Facebook and have seen some of my work. Well, this is where most of that gets done. So a CNC machine. Got a big old vise over there. My laptop, which runs my CNC machine. I've got a welder back there, which I've never used and I have no idea how to use it. Maybe we'll do a video where I'm teaching myself how to do it, and hopefully I don't hurt myself. Now, because I don't have a lot of money, I keep all of the wood I can. I get scraps from various places, and I will utilize every bit possible. So there's a little shelf full of smaller scraps. Now, every wood shop requires sanders of all sorts. There's an oscillating spindle sander. You will see that in action one day. And an oscillating belt sander and a regular belt sander. All three from Harbor Freight. There's some extra wood. Some cut pieces down here. I've got some furniture legs that were donated to me by a friend, and a whole wall full of bins full of screws and nails and fasteners, which ultimately will be used for something at some point. You never know. Files, pliers, wire cutters, picks, chisels, everything you could possibly need, screwdrivers. Every wood shop needs a whole bunch of glue. I don't throw anything away. I keep everything so it looks like a mess, but believe me, I know what I've got here. So these are all the scraps from all of my various works. A lot of my stuff that's failed is in here, as well as the cutoffs from my good stuff. So this will eventually mostly get burned in a fire pit. So another spot for spare wood. This is a jointer. This is a dangerous machine. So what this does is you hold the wood down, you slide it through, and this blade spins really, really fast, and it shaves the wood, making it nice and smooth and square. You will see everything in this shop. Eventually you'll see it work and what it can do and how dangerous it is. This is my Ryobi miter saw, and this thing gets the most use. It is also my oldest tool, and we have to change the blade, so in a future video we're going to change the blade on that together. I'll show you how to do that. So my shelf full of hand tools. So this is everything that can cut, sand, shave, all sorts of implements of construction and destruction is over here. Yes, I use all of this stuff at one point or another. Mostly sanders and saws. Spare wood slices from various projects. This bad boy is a huge bandsaw. Now I'm going to show you something. I was cutting American mahogany logs down, processing them, and what did I do? I got it caught and I busted up the blade. So I'm going to save the changing of the blade for a future video so I can show you how to do that and just how difficult that is. There's a couple of drill presses. The little one's from Harbor Freight. The other one was donated to me by a buddy. And this is a table saw from Harbor Freight. Again, cheap stuff, but who cares? It does what we need it to do, right? You've seen my Insta, maybe, where I made these by hand, or, well, made them myself using my machines, but I want to show you those, and these are cutoffs from projects. I'm not going to throw them away. I'm sure I will be able to use them for something at some point. There's a grinder, so that way I can sharpen stuff like axes or whatever. Bandsaw, small one, great for my little projects. And under this workbench, I've got two 1-inch belt sanders, one with coarse and one with a fine sandpaper for some of my detail work. If you look at my Insta, this is a planer, and you should have seen that thing in action. And an anvil, my green toolbox with every other small thing that's important for crafting, as well as this drawer has my breather, which is invaluable. I create so much sawdust and chemicals in the air that I need that to breathe when I'm doing my projects. Safety first. Router table, now look at this. This is where I store any wood that I get. So this stuff is old 100-plus-year-old walnut, and I only have a little bit of it, so I save that for very special projects. And there's this side with more wood. Now there's some pieces in that bubble wrap which was donated to me by a buddy of mine whose family used to own a furniture manufacturing business, high-end stuff. So I will be using those at some point. So there you have it. That's Mr. Shannon's The Good Enough Guy Crafts Workshop and everything in it. Reach out. If you have an idea or a request, let me know. My next big project will be those boards out there. And those are something I'm going to make for the school. And you all will see that. If you are one of my students, you'll be able to see what those do. And I will post on Instagram the process we go through making what I'm making for that. So there you have it. That's everything. So tell me what you think. Questions, comments, concerns. Sorry for the shaky camera work. I'm doing this myself, and I've never done this before, but I'm pretty sure the video is going to be good enough.